You did everything right. You slept 9 hours. You ate well. You took care of yourself. So why do you still feel like you've been hit by a truck by lunchtime? If you're a Gen X woman, or someone who loves one, this isn't just normal fatigue. You are living through a quiet epidemic. Women born between 1965 and 1980 were handed a cultural promise. You can have it all. An ideal career, a thriving family, total independence. But nobody mentioned the uncounted, invisible second shift waiting for them at home. By the end of this video, you're going to discover 3 things. First, why normal sleep fails to fix this specific exhaustion. Second, why medical conversations miss the biological warning signs for decades. And third, the single identity trap almost every exhausted woman falls into without realizing it. Think about a moment you might have experienced just this week. You pull into your home driveway after a long day. You turn off the engine and you just sit there. You don't go inside. You don't check your phone. You sit in the dark for 10 silent minutes, staring through the windshield. Because that parked car is the only space on Earth where no one is asking you for anything. Maybe you've never said this out loud, but somewhere deep down you've probably thought, why am I so tired when everyone else seems to cope? Let's begin the investigation. Burnout doesn't always come from working long hours at a desk. The first real clue comes from sociology. What surprised researchers was finding that many women in their late 40s and 50s spend countless hours caring for both aging parents and their own families. There's a name for this. Sociologists call them the sandwich generation, trapped between launching young adults into an expensive world and managing medical care for aging parents. It turns out that one of the biggest predictors of burnout isn't simply the number of hours you work. It's never mentally leaving work. It's driving home alone, putting on a random song, and suddenly feeling your eyes fill with tears. Not because the song is sad, but because for 3 minutes, you finally stopped holding your breath. So if you've been wondering why weekends don't feel restful anymore, this is why. Your mind isn't resting because your responsibility loop never actually closes. Picture a phone with its screen showing 18% battery. 37 apps are running in the background. Now, someone asks you to record a high-definition video. It might work for a minute, but eventually, the phone overheats, slows down, and starts shutting things off. Your brain reacts in a remarkably similar way under chronic stress. Here's something fascinating. Your brain burns about 20% of your body's daily energy, despite making up only 2% of your total weight. When you live under constant tension, your body's stress control system, scientists call it the HPA axis, gets stuck in overdrive. It's opening the fridge door, staring at a shelf for 10 seconds, and realizing you have no idea what you came for. You laugh it off as getting older. It isn't age. Chronic stress can make your brain prioritize immediate demands over memory and higher-level thinking. Look a little closer, and the real reason sleeping more hasn't fixed your exhaustion becomes clear. Sleep fills the tank, but chronic stress punches holes in the bottom. Your body isn't short on sleep, it's short on recovery. This is the point where many women start blaming themselves. Even if you're not in this age group yet, or you're a partner watching to understand someone you love, this next clue explains why standard advice like, just take a vacation, completely fails. Right when life should be getting easier, another massive biological shift arrives. Perimenopause. Here's the piece medical conversations missed for decades. Estrogen doesn't just manage reproduction, it acts like an oil change for your brain chemistry, directly supporting dopamine and serotonin. When estrogen levels fluctuate and drop, many women feel as though their brains are working twice as hard to accomplish the exact same tasks. It's feeling guilty the exact second you sit down on the couch because your mind instantly generates a mental checklist of 5 things you should be doing instead. This explains why a simple 3-day getaway doesn't fix it. You can't vacation your way out of a system that is biologically running on empty while constantly generating guilt. Here's the clue that ties everything together. If women are this physically and biologically exhausted, why do they look like they have everything under control? They look fine because they were trained to. Gen X women grew up watching female pioneers fight to earn their place in the workforce. They internalized a quiet, dangerous rule. If you show cracks, you risk losing everything. Research suggests people often underestimate someone else's stress when they appear calm and competent. Outward poise acts as a shield that hides real strain from the world. Exhaustion isn't just caused by doing too much. It's caused by pretending you aren't tired while doing it. Somewhere along the way, being the person who could handle everything stopped being something you did and became who you believed you had to be. Burnout isn't always the result of doing too much. Sometimes it's the result of believing you were never allowed to stop. And when you step back and look at all of it together, a very different picture starts to emerge. None of this means these women are weak. It means they've been carrying a load that was never designed for one person. That's why it's called hidden burnout. From the outside, everything looks completely fine. Inside, the entire system has been running on empty for years. Most people assume recovery is something you earn after finishing all your work. The opposite is true. Recovery is the fuel that allows you to live. It starts with telling yourself the truth. It means dropping non-essential tasks on purpose. It means letting things sit without treating it as a personal failure. Real resilience isn't about carrying more. It's knowing when you've carried enough. We started with 3 questions. Now we have 3 answers. Sleep wasn't the problem. Unresolved stress was draining your recovery. For years, many conversations focused on treating symptoms instead of understanding how chronic stress, caregiving, and hormonal changes interacted. And the deepest trap wasn't physical. It was believing your worth depended on how much you could carry. For years, you've been running a marathon no one else could see. Reaching an impossible finish line isn't the goal today. It's simply realizing you were never meant to run it alone. This isn't the day you have to fix everything. It's just the day you stop blaming yourself. If this felt like someone finally put words to something you've carried in silence, what's one thing you're giving yourself permission to stop carrying? Share your story in the comments below. Take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, and I'll see you in the next video.